What if I told you that intelligence isn't what you say?
It's what leaks out when you're not paying attention?
That your everyday habits, the ones you think mean nothing, are quietly confessing how unaware, impulsive, and, yes, unintelligent you might actually be. But of course, you won't believe that. Because every smart person thinks they're the specific exception. Let's be honest, no one ever admits they're not that bright. People will call themselves lazy, anxious, depressed, even broken, but never stupid. Yet stupidity doesn't always look like failing grades or bad grammar. Sometimes it wears the mask of confidence. Sometimes it scrolls endlessly through motivational quotes and thinks it's learning. Sometimes it argues to win instead of to understand. And sometimes it's just a person mistaking loud opinions for deep thoughts. You think you're smart because you read threads on psychology, because you watched a documentary, or because you can see through people. But maybe, just maybe, you've confused awareness with arrogance. Smart people question. Dumb ones assume. And the trickiest part? The dumb ones don't know they're dumb because their ego keeps whispering. You're the smartest one in the room. Ever met someone who always has to be right? The kind who argues over nothing. Not because they care about truth, but because they can't handle being wrong? That's not confidence. It's intellectual insecurity wearing a fake smile. The smartest people in the world have one thing in common. They love being proven wrong. Because every correction means growth. Every mistake means discovery. But fragile minds don't seek truth, they seek validation. They don't want to know more. They just want to be right. And then there's the habit of speaking more than thinking. Talking just to fill silence. People who can't stand quiet often can't stand their own thoughts either. They think noise equals intelligence. Big words, strong opinions, quick answers. But real intelligence lives in restraint. It hides in pauses. It waits before reacting. If your mind always rushes to respond instead of understand, you're not processing reality, you're escaping it. Let's talk about distraction. The endless craving for stimulation. You tell yourself you're multitasking, that you're efficient. But what if I told you that your need to constantly switch from app to app, video to video, dopamine hit to dopamine hit, isn't productivity? It's proof of a decaying attention span? A smart mind focuses. A dull one escapes. The modern world has turned attention into a currency, and most people have gone bankrupt without even noticing. And then there's the need to look smart. You know, the quotes in your bio, the fake deep captions. The "I prefer deep conversations" line every overthinker writes on their profile. That's not depth, that's performance. The truly intelligent don't have to prove it. They speak simply, listen carefully, and understand that intelligence is not about appearing superior. It's about being endlessly curious. Let's go darker. One of the most silent killers of intelligence? Emotional impulsiveness. If you get angry quickly, take everything personally, or believe every feeling must be acted on. You're not in control. Your emotions are. Smart minds use emotions as data. Weak minds use them as weapons. Intelligence is not about knowing facts. It's about managing yourself. The moment your emotions dictate your logic, your brain stops thinking and starts reacting. And oh, here's the most ironic one: mocking what you don't understand. People love to laugh at things beyond their comprehension. They'll call something weird, pointless, or too deep, just because they can't process it. It's easier to mock than to admit ignorance. But every time you ridicule what you don't understand, you're announcing how little you actually know. The wise observe quietly. The foolish comment loudly. Another quiet sign? The refusal to learn. You'd be shocked how many people say they want to grow. But deep down, they want comfort more than truth. They read, but not to understand, just to confirm what they already believe. They follow educational pages, but only share the ones that make them look smart. That's not growth. That's ego in disguise. True intelligence requires one terrifying thing: humility. The ability to admit that you might be wrong. And most people would rather stay ignorant than feel small. You might think low intelligence means low knowledge. But it's not that simple. It's the inability to reflect, to see yourself from the outside, to question your think patterns, your think triggers, your think delusions. If you repeat the same mistakes but keep blaming the world, congratulations, you're the villain of your own story. But hey, at least you're consistent. Let's not forget the habit of constant judgment. People who quickly label others as stupid, toxic, or crazy usually do so to feel superior. But that superiority complex is often built on insecurity. The more you judge, the less you understand. The more you assume, the less you learn. Smart minds analyze. Small minds label. And maybe the darkest habit of all, pretending to know. People would rather fake wisdom than admit ignorance. They'll nod, agree, or throw in buzzwords just to seem intelligent. But pretending to know kills curiosity. And when curiosity dies, intelligence rots with it. Because intelligence isn't about knowing everything, it's about being endlessly fascinated by what you don't. So maybe it's time to stop asking, "Am I smart?" and start asking, "Am I learning?" Because the moment you think you've arrived at intelligence, you've already started to decay. The smartest people never stop feeling a little stupid. That's what keeps them searching, observing, and evolving. So go ahead. Keep scrolling, keep laughing at this video, keep telling yourself it doesn't apply to you. But remember, denial is the favorite drug of the unintelligent. And every time you choose comfort over self-awareness, you're not protecting your ego, you're suffocating your mind. The truth is, stupidity doesn't announce itself. It hides behind self-assurance, inside habits that feel normal, in words like "I already know." And while you're busy proving your intelligence to the world, the smartest people are silently unlearning, questioning, and watching you repeat the same old patterns, thinking you're different thing. Maybe you are. Or maybe you're just another example of what happens when ego kills awareness. Because the real measure of intelligence isn't how much you know. It's how little you need to pretend. Now tell me, after hearing all this, are you still sure you're smart?